This is Charles Kao with Travel Mall TV at the Los Angeles Times Travel Show this afternoon with Mr. Omar Banihani. Omar, good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Tell me, what are the top cities, areas that visitors to Jordan go to nowadays?
If I have to narrow it down to 5 cities, I would say, or 5 destinations to see in Jordan and sites would be number 1, Petra, and the reason why I would say that, it's actually one of the world's 7 wonders. It's a fantastic site to see, lots of history to view as well. What it is, it's an ancient Nabatean city that that once had almost 35,000 people live there, and it's just a fascinating place to go see. Number 2, I believe, would say a fascinating place in the north of Jordan is called Jerash, and it's a Greco-Roman city. It's about 45 minutes driving from Amman north, and it has a lot of things to see: the colonnaded street, the old hippodrome, and the theater, and so forth. And there's actually many mosaics and churches as well to see. And that would be number 2. Number 3, I would say Amman would be number 3. It's just it's a fantastic place to visit. It mixes the old and the new. It's a melting pot for people working in Amman from all around the world and from all different parts of Jordan. And it also has the historical part of it as well. The Roman theater is all the way there down in downtown. You're walking around through see all the vendors and the shops. All of a sudden there's an ancient Roman theater as well, and then you look up top on the hill and you see the citadel. And this is just part of what you get to see in Amman. Of course, there's a lot of culture, there's a lot of museums and so forth to go see. Number 4, I would say, would be Wadi Rum. Wadi Rum is where Lawrence of Arabia used to live in Jordan, and it's in the south. It's a desert area that has beautiful mountains. The color of the sand, the mountains, and just the whole thing there is just amazing. You can camp there, you can 4-wheel drive, and you can go see some of the historical sites there, the ancient inscriptions. And they were just added as one of the UNESCO top UNESCO heritage sites last year, 2012. And the last thing would be the Dead Sea. At least you would want to go see the Dead Sea for a day, or maybe stay the night, and just really soak up the therapeutic minerals from the water there. Maybe put some of that mud on yourself as well, and just enjoy a great warm weather, and maybe get to float a little bit on the water.
What's the driving time distance? Give a few examples between these places.
I would say, so Amman to Jerash would be about 45-minute drive north of Amman. And then back to Amman is about 45 minutes. But then from Amman down south to Wadi Rum would be about 3 to 3.5 hour drive. And then from Amman to the Dead Sea, it's about 45 minutes as well, driving west of Amman. But would you want to know from, let's say, the Wadi Rum up to the Dead Sea?
No, that gives a good idea. I mean, with such great heritage sites, attractions, what may call it, you don't really need to create any artificial ones, do you?
We don't. In Jordan, a country that you can cross in about not more than 5 hours driving. Very, very small country. But there are over 40,000 registered archaeological sites, so you can just tell by that fact. Jordan is basically an open-air museum. There's so much history to see and so much culture to be
and it's safe. I mean, all this problem around you, left, right, north, south,
it's been business
it still leaves. It's always been safe.
Of course, it's been business as usual all throughout the time, the rocky times in the region. It's been the same way all throughout. and of course it's the same right now. And we've been privileged to enjoy having travelers keep coming to Jordan throughout the bad times for some of our neighbors, basically.
And your largest markets are where? Europe, I imagine.
Europe is big for Jordan collectively, but then if you're looking at each country separately, the United States is actually the biggest market for Jordan. Yes, the United States.
Really?
I'm not really sure about the numbers exactly, but I know England is actually very big. Canada, of course, U.S. and Canada are really big from North America. I know England is very big as well. Spain, Germany, and France, and amongst others.
Wow! And they're the Americans. You don't happen to know the age group. I imagine they're an older group of travelers.
You would think. We've always thought that 55 and over is really our biggest target market in the United States, but it turned out to be not that. Actually, our biggest target market is 35 to 45, I believe, is the biggest target audience for us. So really younger people are traveling